This is Shabbos Nun Hey. So we're talking about blachos on Shabbos, and we're talking about whether or not doing every single one in one Shabbos, whether that's going to be considered chayiv in every single one of them, or you're chayiv only one for doing all of them if it's one lapse of awareness or one binge of doing malach on Shabbos. I'm trying to learn it out from Avodah Zarah. I'm going to go back and forth how Avodah Zarah is the same as Shabbos or different than Shabbos between the generalization of Avodah Zarah and then the specifics given about Avodah Zarah. This thing, the same thing. So to with Shabbos, because the generalization of Shabbos and the specifics of certain malachos, like Mavir, was given. Interesting that Mavir is not actually mentioned as far as the third nine malachos. It's Oifa, it's baking. Why the Mishnah changed it, we'll have to see. Davar shehu ma'isa melamed, something that is significant action teaches us about the general. But davar shehu ma'isa in melamed, a thing that's not, you cannot teach us about the general category. So now, having talked about the brisa in support of our mana, the Gemara now will question that that Maver preparation is not saying that for its own purpose. It's teaching some more about other Shabbos. Let's see. Amar Rav Yomi says, Havara l'tzayrech yatzos, that kindling was singled out because of a need. Lamed al bay dinim shalai yeho dinim Shabbos. To teach us regarding courts that they should not adjudicate cases on the Shabbos. Well, my time, what's the reason? Namar kan b'chol shvoisechem, in all your dwellings. V'nemar lahalan says later on, v'ayu elehen lachem l'chukas mishpat l'darisechem b'chol shvoisechem. There should be judges and judgment throughout all your dwellings. Ma shvoisechem b'shnemar lahalan b'tei dina nakosov. Just like it says by the dinim, it says kol shvoisechem. Afal shvoisechem b'shnemar kan b'dinim nakosov b'daber. So too, your dwelling is stated here, and it also refers to a court. And therefore, it should not be done on Shabbos. Amar Rab Shmuel Bar Avdumi, Rabbi Shmuel Avdumi says that the Mecheva Ditmar Tzayrech Yatzas, for that which you say is singled out for a need, that Kemi Shiyatza Shaloy Tzayrech, for if it's not singled out for a need, V'davar Shiyatza Shaloy Tzayrech Melamed, and something that was not singled out for a need can teach us about something general. Hada Amra. So the answer to Ramana is saying that one thing, the specific permission, for instance, that was singled out for general permission for its own need does not separate into categories, but it's not singled out for its own need, but it does its own need does separate, right? So shnei dvarim shatsu min haklal, that two things that were singled out from general permission, ma'al shechoklu. What about them? Are they able to be singled out? So nishmana min hada. So here the answer from his brisa, that minayin hamale mivsar chatos, that from where does one offer up of the meat for chatos, ubsar asham, and the meat for an asham, ubsar kachi kachem, and the meat for kachi kachem, ubsar kachi kalim, and the meat for kachi kalim, umaiser aimer, and the remainder of the aimer offering, ushtei halachem, and the shtei halachem, the lechem upon him, and the lechem upon him, v'shiari monais, and the remnants of the ordinary minuk offering, min hasar, min hadvash, and from the leavening and from the honey, iver belay sase. You transgression a negative commandment. Habalim teaches you that ki kol sa'ar v'chol davash like to menu isha Hashem, for any leavening or any honey that you should not burn, from it is a fire offering Hashem. So ha kol sheish menu lishim. So that any of these fire offerings, harehu b'kal tiktiru, is subject to permission of you shall not burn. Rabbi Elazar shal Rabbi Yechanan. Rabbi Elazar inquired Rabbi Yechanan, v'yetzu shtei alechem. Well, when you're talking about the two shtei alechem of the bikurim offering that was given on Shavuos, so v'limid al kachem v'lekeves, and they should be therefore teach us about the kachem of the ramp, because that's what they're given, and it's also forbidden to burn them on the ramp. So what do you do? So maybe we should learn that out. Amar later, Bechan replies, Kadad Tanem, the kachim that was stated in the Bryce, Hamizbeach, on the Mizbeach, and the Ainli El Hamizbeach, only on the Mizbeach. Uminayin l'Rabbi says, I know that it includes the ramp. Talmud Loimar, the Mizbeach v'lo yalu, but to be not go up on the Mizbeach, It could be that you're saying that should be for the sake of service, not for the sake of service. It should be a satisfying aroma. That only talks about an avodah. So therefore, we know that it can't be done on the ramp. It has to be done on the mizbech. Not on the mizbech, then it's not of a avodah. Amalei Rabbi Lazar says Rabbi Yechanan. Isa miut from it says them is exclusionary. So ilu chayiv and aleihem lekeves is only regarding these. The shtei halechem and the vikurim that one is liable regarding going to the ramp. The ain shar called kashim chayiv and aleihem lekeves, but not all kashim by chayiv on the ramp. If they should cost oisam, this is oisam. Ha einam ksuv oisam. Then if you're not something, we would derive it. Hadam would say that Shnei Dvarim Yasum and Aklal in a Chaykin, the two things that were singled out for general permission separate. Therefore, we could learn it out. But we don't need it because we see that actually Psukim teach us that. Abraham Chanina Berea Chanina said Lachoyla Kena and Chaylkin to separate these two things. So how Lamed Belamdin, but to teach us, and what does it teach us? Rabbi Yosi Berei Bon La Amar Kain. Yosi, the son of Rabbon, did not say. Rabbi Yochanan answered that we derived that Torah tradition of the Shnei Lechem and Bikurim and all Kachim Kalim that may not be burnt on the ramp, right? And Rabbi Lezer replied that the exclusionary terms Shnei Lechem and Bikurim learn it. Sela Rabbi Lezer Shal Rabbi Yochanan. Rabbi Lezer's version of asking Rabbi Yechanan v'yetzu shtei alechem, but we learn how shtei alechem and the bikurim that were singled out. Lambda called kachim lekevis. They teach all kachim that's on the ramp of the altar. Amar lei Rabbi Yechanan realized Isam says Isam miet. No, that excludes it. The word Isam elu chayiv and aleihem lekevis at the libel on the ramp. V'ein shnei called kachim chayiv and aleihem lekevis. But regarding other kachim, one is not liable on the ramp. Chada Amar Deva. This one that's singled out the general permission for its own need, does not separate. And it was not singled out for its own need, so it should not separate. But two things that were singled out for the general person, they do not make a distinction. Rabbi Yishmael but according to Rabbi Yishmael, the two things that were singled out on a prohibition, Dama Rabun Barchia, Rabun said Rabbi Chia, different Rabbi Shmuel, there's Rabbi Shmuel. Shnei Dvarim She'etzum Minakal, two things that were singled out from the general Chalkin, they could separate. The Tana Rabbi Shmuel, because Rabbi Shmuel says, Loi Senakshu V'loi Sa'ananu, you shall not look for a sign, you shall not calculate times. Now, looking for a sign of calculating times aren't in the general, and they're separate. Like they're separating. Therefore, teach us, and just like these two forms of sorcery are distinct categories of liability, so too any other subcategory of general permission are considered distinct categories of liability. Now, the Gemara says, Klal Behechre suprat behechres, the generalization of kares and the specification of kares. That Milsa the Rabbi Yechanan Amar Klal Pratu, that the words of Rabbi Yechanan state that if generalization or specification, Damar Ramavu b'shem Rabbi Yechanan, the Rabbi said Rabbi Yechanan, Ki kol asher yaseh hatevos ha'elov v'nechusuf. For anyone who commits any of these abominations will be cut off. Now, being with one sister is included in the general statement of kares. So the yatzim in a klal, and it's singled out. The chiluk al kol, so different, maybe separated all of them. So now we have a challenge Rabbi Yechanan to this type of to saying that we do have this chiluk. Hasev Rabbi Lazar, Rabbi Lazar challenged Rabbi Yechanan. The chsev ervas achoi simcha v'achoi avicha loisagala ki sheiroi erva. But say that of your mother, or the nakedness of your mother or sister, or the nakedness of your father's sister, should be forever, for she has bared her own flesh. So why then the Torah have to specify the punishment of violating kares? Amalei, so Rabbi Lechanan said to Rabbi Lezer, let's say specification of single, we need to go out. Lidun ba'araya, to punish kares for every single type for even beginning the act of cohabitation with a rayas. So Rabbi Lezer asked another question. So Amalei, so Rabbi Lezer asked Rabbi Yechanan, Vaksiv ish asher yishkav asher isha dava v'gila sarva mekaira erva. But it is written that the man shall lie with a woman, and it should be an affliction, right? She has nida, and he covered her nakedness, and the source would be for him, and there we go. So now it cannot be taught that one is liable even for just the beginning of cohabitation. For you said the terms of obligation of cohabitation is sister right, one father. But here we go. Now talking about the case of nida. So therefore, so this obligation too is included in the general statement of kares. And for what purpose? The Torah testify that this punishment also was with kares. So Amarle, Rabbi Yochanan said to Rabbi Lezer, L'tzayrich yatza, to single out for the need, Lidain ba as ha marach gaimer, to punish karis just like one who begins a cohabitation, just like one who completes a cohabitation. Shalai timer ve'ene chayev in ella aleya ella mishum tuma, so that you should not say that since one is liable for the sleeping with her or being with her, the bia because of impurity, Shalai nasa by samarach gaimer, and it's not true on the beginning of cohabitation like the end of it. So from Cain Tzarech Memar, it's different Torah to say. You're going to say that, oh, this one's different because it has a tummy, therefore that's always different. So saying no, that one begins, this one ends, this one is tummy, that one's not tummy, they're all the same. Does not make a difference of how it's done, beginning, end, start, finish, tummy, not tummy, they're all chayiv v'karis. So Rabbi Lezer asks further. Vaksiva says, it says, and a man who's lied with his aunt, his uncle's wife, will have to uncover naked his uncle. So this prohibition was also included in the general statement of kares. So why did the Torah need to specify this one as well? So Amalei said, Rabbi Lezer, so Rabbi Yochanan would say to Rabbi Lezer, L'tzayrich yatza, I too was singled out for the need, lidain ba'ariri, to punish someone with, to punish one who transgressed the prohibition of kares, but also with childlessness, that and concludes in that statement that a person will have a riri. So not only will have kares, but the person will also have a riri childlessness as well.